a story. This week we have with us a very unusual guest, the former RSS Vacharak, Mr. Govindacharya, who is also a Swadeshi activist. And though he doesn't like to call himself that, I'm going to call you a political commentator. Because with your inside view of the RSS, you can be counted on to give us an insight into what's happening today, and also counted on to have a view with a difference. Welcome to NewsX. So, you've been saying the Modi government is in power. A lot of people have been asking you to comment. You're saying give it time, give it 6 months. Now 6 months are over. So
not over. On 25th only, it will be 6 months. Because on 26th May he took oath.
So, few days away.
Then, a few days more. So many miracles can happen in these few days itself.
Well, the Prime Minister is barely in the country in the next week again. He's off. So
I think yes. On certain aspects, he has been able to activate the state machinery. Also, has responded well to the people's aspirations also. For ground level achievements, some more time is needed. But on certain counts, he has to perform better.
A lot of people are saying that announcement ज़्यादा हो रही है, delivery कम हो रही है अभी तक.
Announcement ज़्यादा हो रही है, delivery कम हो रही है, तो उसमें तो gestation period भी लगता है कई विषयों का. हाँ, कुछ काम होने चाहिए. ये हो सकता है कि ट्रस्ट को और बढ़ाएं, कोलीग्स को और इंडिपेंडेंस दें, शायद परफॉर्मेंस और अच्छी हो जाए, हो सकता है.
क्योंकि दिग्विजय सिंह ने बात की थी. He said that in his council of ministers he has people who are mostly Rajya Sabha background, so they depend a lot on Modi for their existence. तो ये अपोज कैसे करेंगे?
श्री दिग्विजय सिंह जी जो कह रहे हैं, हाँ, उनको अपने पुराने कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट की भी याद होगी. उस समय भी आरोप ये लगते थे. इवन प्राइम मिनिस्टर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी राज्यसभा के ही थे.
सही बोला.
इसलिए वो ठीक. इसलिए आज ऑपोजिशन की स्थिति ही इतनी खराब है कि वो जो बोले, जैसे उस समय भी वही बात थी कि वो अगर ऑपोजिशन वाले कुछ कहते थे तो सत्ता वाले कहते तुम भी तो वही कर रहे हो, तुम भी तो वही कर रहे थे. ये तो आपसी इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि आलोचना की क्रेडिबिलिटी कम हो जाती है.
ये जो ऑपोजिशन की आप बात कर रहे हैं, डू यू थिंक लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर सेइंग द बीजेपी हैज कम टू पावर, इज इट बिकॉज ऑफ अ वीक ऑपोजिशन और अ स्ट्रांग बीजेपी?
सबसे पहले तो नॉन परफॉर्मेंस, जीरो गवर्नेंस ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ यूपीए 2 वाज द प्राइम रीजन, एंड दैट वाज वेरी स्किलफुली encashed by Sri Narendra Modi under the banner of Bharatiya Janata Party. So whole Sangha Parivar cadre, that also helped him out. And as the election campaign proceeded, opposition was still vanquished in such a manner that today's position is there.
So who would you give credit to more, the weak Congress or a strong Modi?
I will say that skillful Modi should be given the credit first, but it won't have happened that successfully if Congress had put up its fight well. It couldn't. It couldn't stand at the battle. They lost the battle before they began.
What is your advice to the Congress? As someone who's watching political events, should Rahul Gandhi have taken leader of opposition, or is he smart to stay away? Because the Congress is not doing anything.
A new type of collective leadership needs to be experimented for Congress. And if they free themselves from the dynasty dominance, they can figure well, they can feature well, and that credibility will be more. If they go by the lines of Gandhi with patience of 20 years, they can definitely contribute for betterment of the country.
Do you think it's time for a non-Nehru Gandhi to lead the Congress, or is the dynasty the only glue that is binding the party?
It need not be, it should not be rather. The ideology, thought process do for betterment of the country.
Do you think it's time for a non-Nehru Gandhi to lead the Congress, or is the dynasty the only glue that is binding the party?
It need not be, it should not be rather. The ideology, thought process of Mahatma Gandhi, if it is inspiration for Congress, that to do for it better.
Achha, Govind, you spoke of collective leadership. Now people are also saying that Modi is becoming like a one-man, they're saying he's a right-wing Indira Gandhi.
So he should take care that this image doesn't continue. He should also make efforts to amend this. The trust deficit among the colleagues he should attend to. That will be for the better of the country. Because this is such a vast country of so much diversities. The teamwork, because every individual, howsoever great he may be, he is a fraction. Only team has the potential of functioning as an integer.
The sum total.
Sum total. अपूर्णांक होता है, हर आदमी गुण दोष होते हैं, टीम ही उसको कॉम्पेंसेट पूरा करती है, तो टीम ही पूर्णांक होती है, इंटीजर.
But Modi, they say he's relying too much on bureaucrats. You know, some people are saying it's a smart move. Some people are saying it's your colleagues are feeling left out.
So that happens. Therefore, a balance is to be struck. Instilling confidence in bureaucrats so that they may not take partisan decisions. On the other side, politicians also should be given their due because they know the feel and of the pulse of the people also. So both should be balanced. I think in this aspect, Narendra ji is learning fast.
He's known to be a fast learner.
Yes, he has to be.
But you know what he did, like this famous Mardarshak Mandal, you know, where he retired a lot of people. Is that a good idea?
So everybody knew what's happening. So no need to comment on that. One has to move on further.
But should he not, I mean, you're dodging the question is...
So a time had to come. One has to march forward.
You know, once earlier, a comment has been attributed to you. You were telling me a while ago it's not correct. Would you want to set the record right on the Mukhota comment? Did you call Vajpayee that?
No, I never called Mukhota because I did not. The thought also didn't occur in my mind.
Then how did this comment reach
you? It all
you?
was caused by the article written by Sri Bhanu Pratap Shukla, ex-editor of Panchajanya. He was a syndicated columnist and a respected person also. He just wrote in that paper that what would happen to the discipline of a party when its general secretary calls his own leader a Mukhota. I immediately issued contradiction on that very day, which was also published on the second very day. Similarly, British High Commission, with whom, the officials with whom I had been supposed to have talks, they also contradicted that no such comment were passed in the dialogue. So that issue died down by the end of the month October, when I and Atalji had sat. Somebody had told him the tape was there. Then I said, there cannot be a better tool of my defense. You please listen to it. If there is anything derogatory, not only Mukhota and not only Atalji, any other central leader, I will quit public life. Issue ended there.
So between you and Vajpayee, there has been no misunderstanding?
There was no misunderstanding because I said that you are my father, like I am just learning some and I am trying to contribute my own bit, that's all. And I don't harbor any personal ambition. So I can never be perceived as challenger at all. I am not no threat at all.
You know, maybe not Vajpayee, but another man has been experimenting in Mukhotas, Adwani. You know, you think he first is pro something, then he goes and says pro Jinnah comments.
I think he's a pragmatist basically. And he thinks that for politics, Bharat starts from the Constituent Assembly onwards. So he would always refer to the debates of the Constituent Assembly. In some portion of his psychology, that Bharat is a new nation or nation in the making, that may be there. Therefore, he never unnecessarily dwelled into the glorious past or civilizational strength, social capital, cultural capital. All these aspects he never attended to.
But why did Adwani resent Modi so much? I mean, the obvious answer is, of course, that they had a clash of ambitions. But beyond that, because I mean, we all know that it was Adwani who saved Modi's job when Vajpayee wanted to sack him. So, itna resentment from both sides, how did that happen?
I don't think from Narendra Modi's side any kind of resentment was there.
तो मार्गदर्शक तो कर ही दिया, दिखा दिया.
वो तो बाद में ना, और करते भी क्या, वो भी एक आदर देने का ढंग ही है, to pay respect to the elders. There was nothing more which could have been done. I think at that moment, that was the proper decision.
But why, from Advani's side, what was the resentment? It was just thwarted ambition, or you think there's more to it?
No, he might have felt that some more time is required for Narendra Modi ji to become Prime Minister. So some other interim arrangement needs to be made. That's what he might have felt. He might have felt that this trust building, teamwork building, that also has to take some time. That might have been the feeling. I don't think personal ambitions alone might have been the factor. I don't think so.
Because him sulking, then, RSS trying to convince him, it seemed as if, he was and for a party patriot to throw a sulk like that, it didn't come across well at all.
That's what everybody feels.
What do you feel?
But I think things could have been handled better, so that these twists might not have been there.
Moving on to the current thing, there's a lot of controversy about Sanskrit versus German. Do you agree with that?
I don't think there is any controversy. Sanskrit has its place in Bharat.
But children who want to get a job ahead, they want to opt for German.
What's the prospect of job in Germany for that matter?
So Mandarin sikha do, but at least some other foreign language, but not Sanskrit is the argument.
Let the Sanskrit also be there. In Bharat, Sanskrit is not there. Where would it be? And German, Sanskrit are mutually supplementary, complementary only. I don't see any conflict in that.
But the fact that the decision was taken in such a way that children are losing their school years.
So somehow the perception has been that. Fact is not that. In Bharat, if Sanskrit doesn't get its place, where will it get it? It has to get. Hebrew was brought from somewhere in Israel, and now Hebrew became the national language. Until 1500,
or Hebrew?
Even in Europe, Sanskrit was the language of commerce and trade.
But today it is not. Today it is English or
Therefore,
Chinese.
one has to think of future also. Sanskrit is the most scientific language. So even for computers.
So what do you gain? If you make Sanskrit mandatory, children will learn. How will you?
They will get a peep into the glorious past, our own heritage on the one side. On the other side, forward looking, if you see, then computers can have the best scientific background only in Sanskrit. Because it is a scientific language. It not only its evolution, its linguistics, its philology, they are all very scientific. So why should there be an objection? The very sense of objection, it means that people suffering from inferiority complex towards our own country, they are taking this stand. They don't have the knowledge about the glorious past which our forefathers have created for us. That heritage, that tradition, they have to learn to value. They haven't.
Is heritage the same argument for the Ram Mandir also?
For me, Rama Rajya is the quintessence of all what is the best for the cause of Bharat, for the tradition of Bharat. There cannot be any better governance than Rama Rajya.
But this politically, what the BJP is doing, they, you look at the recent elections. When they talk development, they're getting more votes than if they talk the whole Ram temple talk.
It's not fully correct.
By elections ko dekho aur,
it is not fully correct. If development had been the only reason, this result won't have come.
Are you saying the result is also largely
It is just like, I feel, it is just like 89 elections result, in which alliance also was one factor, and Shilanyasa of Ram Janmabhoomi also was another factor. So out of 86 seats which we got from 2 in 84 to 86 in 89, 40 seats or odd must have been given to the credit of Ram Janmabhoomi and 40 odd seats for the alliance also. Similarly this time also, Sri Narendra Modi very skillfully blended the two. Pride about our own traditions, respect and heritage, and similarly development, the aspiration of the people also. He could blend it so beautifully. He got such a promising result and lot of expectations also.
But what is the difference between the Vajpayee campaign and the Modi campaign? Two recent BJP prime ministers.
Somehow I feel Modi ji was more successful in campaign building, and that has to be given. The credit has to be given. In Atalji's time, more teamwork was there, and Atalji was first among the equals.
Right.
So every person will have his own positives.
So Modi is better at marketing strategy.
You may say so, and definitely he could do it, and for that he should be given credit also.
And can you compare both of them? Because both are known to be great orators, but yet they have very different styles.
Everyone has his own style.
Fair enough.
And he could catch the imagination of the people, as Atalji also could do. And Atalji had vast experience of politics, of about 50 years.
But in Atalji's speech, do you find any difference between the two? If you can compare it for a lot of
Just
views.
as I have listened to, Narendra ji has got more appeal in the minds of younger generation. That's his plus point. Even to the children in the homes, they definitely have got much more respect and they are awed by the personality of Shri Narendra Modi. That's the fact today.
And in terms of the RSS influence of the two governments, we saw a lot of tussle between the RSS and the Vajpayee government. Is the same going to happen with Modi? Or is he more skillful?
There was no tussle. It was all the case of prioritization, understanding of the situation. As it is said, the man in the field is the best judge of the situation, be it Atalji or be it Narendraji. And second thing, to guide an organization, one has to breathe the organization. RSS cannot breathe into the organization, the setup of BJP. Therefore, RSS always chooses to keep a distance, either with Atalji and so also with Narendraji.
Public distance, but otherwise they are guiding them.
Whenever asked, they can offer advice. Whether to adhere to the advice, obey the advice or not is the prerogative of the people in the field. And about that, suppose Sangha, they go to Sangha people and they give some advice. Whether that advice is obeyed or not, they will not be particular about it. Because they will think that you are also a Swayamsevak working in the political field. You may have the better judgment about the needs of the field. That's where they leave there. They don't follow it up.
But getting people like Ram Madhav and all into the organization, is that a good move?
No, Rama Madhav might have had inclination about working in field of politics. And in Sangha people, they thought that all right, let him contribute in the field of politics, whatever he may. So they sent him and also many others also. But what they do and how are they accountable to whom? So they will be accountable to the hierarchy of the BJP only. And RSS will not try to push them forward or recommend them for their promotion. No, not that. Once the field, BJP, the leadership has to allocate the responsibility. That's the system of working.
You said that the BJP government, Modi government has done some work but needs to do a lot more. What should be the priorities of the government according to you on a personal note?
Let the budget come. Then only this government's intentions and the direction will be clearer.
We've had one budget.
Will be clearer. This was just an extension of the interim budget. It was in a way extension of the older budget.
The UPA
because
budget.
This new government could not have that much leisure and time and pay attention to the requirements also.
But I disagree with you. Narasimha Rao, when he became Prime Minister, within 47 days he put in a budget, a landmark budget, and Rao did not even know he's becoming Prime Minister. Modi knew better more before all of us knew he's becoming Prime Minister. Why didn't he put a budget in place?
No, that budget also had the preparation of the earlier legacy. But here the legacy was different. UPA, from a UPA to NDA. That was not the case then. That was from Chandrasekhar onwards. The word did not matter much. It was a very brief interlocution.
So you're hoping, what kind of a budget are you expecting? Because this government or Modi per se comes with a very pro-corporate tack. Are you worried that this would be a...
So I don't want to speculate. Let it come first. But what I always feel, I'm apprehensive whether it is pro-poor or not. And in what way it is pro-corporate or in what way it is pro-poor. In what way it is ecocentric, in what way is human-centric. It will be interesting to know that.
Human-centric or individual-centric? Is he going to favor certain individuals?
Human-centric means anthropocentric. That is eco-destructive. One has to see what does it have in store for our ecosystem itself.
But the Modi government has been accused of favoring certain individuals. For instance, the recent Adwani case. He was with him in Australia.
He should be cautious enough. Julius Caesar's wife should be ever suspicious, as they said.
Right.
So taking along money bags along on the foreign tours, that doesn't give a good message or image.
But the argument...
Caesar's wife should be ever suspicious, as they said.
Right.
So taking along money bags along on the foreign tours, that doesn't give a good message or image.
But the argument given by the PMO is that, we also want to bring in investment
and for that this type of proximity is not needed. In Janasangha days also, Nanaji Deshmukh was the best person who was raising funds also and has very close relations with the industrial houses also. Very homely relations. But he saw to it that no such industrialist was even made primary member. of the party. That care he took. So it's always better to keep a distance by not directly interacting. If utmost is needed, it's different, exceptional. It should not become the feature.
Because we also had the case of the famous hospital opening at the Prime Minister.
Ambani's, Adwani's, now in Australia. So people will get the wrong impression as if that the facilitation of some mines, some industries. So Prime Minister should see to it that he is able to maintain distance. It will be better for him, for the party and from the governance itself. Because the bureaucratic setup, when he says such powerful influential people nearer to the Prime Minister, then they tend to get influenced without being uttered a single word.
Also, when we talk about crony capitalism, when this debate about Adani and Modi came up, Congress walas talk about, BJP shoot back and talk about the Vadra case. As a strategist, what would you advise Modi? Should he go for the kill in the Vadra case or should he just keep it hanging?
He should not keep it hanging. Things should reach the logical conclusions.
So he should go at least whether there is merit in the accusations on Vadra or not.
So whatever is there, it will come out open. What's there? If Vadraji is fair enough, then justice will be there. So nobody should obstruct the legal recourse on any part.
But they say in politics, the threat of is sometimes works better than the actual.
But that type of politics is not good for the welfare of the people. So people-centric politics, one should be much more serious about certain issues.
What about, some people who are left out, like Arun Shourie or, other people who feel they have been left out of the system? Should they be co-opted or should?
I don't know whether they feel they have any such feeling. I don't know.
Or Subramaniam Swamy?
Dr. Swamy is active, whether he is given any post or not. He has got his own personality, his own contribution. So he doesn't need that way any post for himself. Definitely he can do much more if such post had been given, appropriate to his stature. Otherwise also he will remain active for the nation and society, that I know. For example, now itself, he wanted complete ban on cow slaughter, which is a must for our country. So he will take up such issues. That also will do good to the country.
That is something that you are also involved in, which...
I am also there, definitely, and I have always treated Dr. Subramaniam Swamy as my elder brother. So also, he also treated me as younger brother. Since 1970s, during Bihar movement also he was there.
I see.
So he is a crusader on the public issues. He will continue to be.
And you also become a crusader. You filed a PIL recently against the use of social media by
so
the government.
So I am also an activist, but he has done a lot more. That's what I have read.
He's more active an activist. What is Govindacharya's next move? Where do we see you? You said you resigned voluntarily from the RSS.
Yes. Now I will invite you or anybody to attend the Bharatiya Janata Sangama from January 19th to 25th at Crony in Kolhapur district. There about 1,500 social activist groups will assemble for exchanging their ideas and experiences and learning. And there will be a very big exhibition on 1 acre module, 2 acres module on agriculture. It's organic farming, natural farming, in which a farmer can definitely save 1 lakh rupees a year after cutting all the expenses of his family.
Do you miss, last question, do you miss active politics? Because I find it very unusual when I hear you talking about organic farming.
I was a missionary in the field of politics. Those issues can be attended outside the political party fabric also. So I'm very active on the political issues also, political reforms, electoral reforms, then making Facebook, Google, others also accountable. So on many such issues, I'm quite active. 6 years back, 7 years back, I had started the issue of Gangaji also. I contributed for that.
Which the government has adopted.
And now, cow also, I am raising the issue of the environmental, economic, and the faith aspect of cow.
Okay, we wish you all the best in this. And thank you so much for talking to Cover Story.
Thanks.
Well, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching this edition, and we'll see you again same time next week.